Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy GZTV back with another video. Ooh, okay, mic check. We're good. I'm gonna break the fucking microphone eventually if I keep doing that. But we're back with Dexter. We're gonna kind of summarize the episode a little bit. I don't want to go into like too big a detail. This is a spoiler review though. Like, we are going to discuss what happened. A lot of like major events will be discussed here. So if you don't want to be spoiled, if you haven't watched the episode, go ahead and go watch it. We've been doing this for every single Dexter episode. I mean, this has made up my channel's content for probably about a year now. Me just watching TV shows. I mean, sports aren't on today. And I mean, music has been kind of dead for a while. Utopia's dropping soon. We have Post Malone's album. But other than that, I mean, not much is going for the music industry. Dirk just dropped an album, but I'm not really interested in that many albums this week. I will be doing a weekly track roundup this Sunday. But, yeah. So, Dexter and Harrison watch Brother Sam baptize Nick in Biscayne Bay. He decided to show up and show some support. I mean, he is still kind of skeptical of the Brother Sam figure, but he's wanting to learn a little bit more about religion, and he's wanting to understand why people believe in this stuff, and Brother Sam is a perfect opportunity for that. So he's been hanging out with Brother Sam a lot more. Dexter gets a report from a crime scene, and when he arrives, Dexter is confronted by the bizarre sight of 4 horses, each with a rider composed of body parts sewed to a mannequin, and obviously, we saw this at the end of the last episode. It's just, what was the fallout of that going to be? And that was kind of the cliffhanger going into this episode, So yeah, Masuka reports that all the blood types of the body parts are B positive, so they are likely from the same person. They were just like cut apart, and we know that to be true. We know that to be the jogger, Nathan whatever. Detective Mike Anderson, who is Deborah's replacement, and is hopefully, I really hope to see him become a big role in this series, because I think we're in need of a new character. He notes that the horses are symbolic of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and suggests that whoever did this is a religious man, whether it be negatively or positively. During examinations of the dismembered body, Dexter finds a tiny piece of paper buried underneath an eyelid, and it reads a number, and they find another piece of paper on the other body from before, with the snakes and the sewed chest or stomach where the intestines were, and the numbers are 5 days apart. The deaths happen 5 days apart, so there's an interesting pattern they're starting to build. It's almost like a puzzle the killer is making, which is fucking sick, but yeah. Jamie calls Dexter to let him know that Harrison doesn't feel well and says to keep him home. And if he keeps feeling bad, take him to the hospital, and that's another story that's going to build up. Captain Maria LaGuerta isn't pleased when Deputy Chief Matthews tells her that she won't be making a statement to the press about the 4 horsemen case. Deborah will. And obviously LaGuerta is used to addressing the press, but now that is obviously Lieutenant Morgan's job. So, yeah. Maria informs Deborah that she's a liability until a therapist clears her due to the restaurant shooting incident. She's had a lot go on in her police career, so she could be saying some shit off the hook during this press conference, and I mean, in a way, she kind of does. Mike advises Deborah to dress more professionally because she looks like she's going to a hoedown. I mean, he isn't wrong, but I mean, Deborah just wants to be herself. She wants to just be out there, kind of, and let people know that she gives no fucks, and I mean, that's a great way of going at it. Masuka asks Ryan, his intern, for a second date, and that relationship is starting to kind of build up. Yeah. The homicide team discusses the numbers 1237 and 1242. They're kind of getting together, like, what does this mean? Blah, blah, blah. Like, they're reenacting the stuff of the book of the Revelation, and he's using like this sword that's an ancient artifact, and yeah. Mike comments there are 3 tableaus: intestines on a scale, snakes and a victim, and the 4 horsemen, and those have to have something to do with the book of Revelation, or else like he would be doing this for no reason, honestly. So yeah. Dexter suddenly realizes that the tableaus were 5 days apart and the numbers are 5 days apart. in the book of Revelation. So everything's starting to kind of tie together here. Travis and Galar are sitting together in the Glass House Cafe. Travis sees this waitress, like she's like really attentive and really hot, and he wants to go on a date with her and stuff, and he's getting really distracted with this job super duper easily, and Gellar is not going for it. He's a very strict man. He wants things done his way. Dexter is studying Bible verses in this apartment. When Deborah asks his opinion on her outfit, she dresses like really snazzy and like this skirt to be the lieutenant. Obviously, she gets dress code advice, and yeah. Deborah does look kind of weird in like a formal outfit because she is a very laid back person. Like, I don't know. While Dexter is at Good Shepherd Auto Repair to receive another estimate, he learns that Brother Sam is sending Nick to computer class. So he's kind of learning more and more about Brother Sam and his group here at the Good Shepherd. His clients, I guess, who are also his employees. It's his job to kind of keep them in line, and yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Dexter asks a few questions about tableaus and wants Sam's input on it. Yeah. Deborah arrives at work wearing the skirt, suit, and high heels, which draws the attention of the department. I mean, we know how Masuka is gonna fucking react to that. And LaGuerta kind of gives her a pep talk about the press conference, be yourself, yada, yada, yada. Dexter re-examines Nathan's body and wonders why the killer hacked and slashed the victim, but set up a complex tableau showing an attention to detail. And he realizes there's two people doing this, like there has to be. While working in his lab, Masuka receives an anonymous call from a man who wants to verify the authenticity of a prosthetic hand that's on an internet auction site, and he finds out that Ryan auctions it off. She's like, I needed the money, blah, blah, blah. Masuka's like, get the fuck out, you're done, you can't sell evidence, like, what are you doing? Fires are on the spot, obviously, that looks terrible, and obviously if this gets caught, if it comes to fruition, Masuka's probably going to get fired, like, actually. Deborah gives her presser, but accidentally uses profanity, and Maria is secretly pleased, like, literally preying on her downfall. Maria is such a bitch, dude. Fuck LaGuerta, honestly. That's so fucked up. But, like, I mean, it goes well for Deborah. Like, people love it. People love her profanity, and people love how real she is. Quinn advises Angel that they need to make a house call to Jeremiah Allen, a nutjob preacher, because they're continuing to look for these, like, doomsday experts that are, like, that have a history. Dexter receives a call that Harrison has been taken to the St. Peter's Medical Center, and, like, his appendix bursts. Funny enough, my friend thought he did that freshman year in college, and I had to take him to the ER, and it turned out nothing happened. It was kind of funny. Sam talks about, surrendering to God, or, like, Sam shows up at the hospital with Harrison and him to kind of show his support, because, I mean, he supported the baptism of Nick, They're getting acquainted to each other, and blah, blah, blah. So Angel won't let Quinn eat his lunch in his Firebird, which he named Norma after his mother, and they're sitting there, like, at a sandwich shop, which is, like, the wrong address or whatever. And then they start to get high, they get stoned, they see a blunt in the mirror of the car, and Quinn's like, are you going through a midlife crisis? And it's kind of like a funny little moment there. Travis informs Gellar that he is going on a date with Aaron, and Gellar replies that he must accept the consequences given by God if he wants to do this. Obviously, like, Travis doesn't think much of this, goes on the date, yada, yada, yada. Gellar watches them as they have sex, and it's really fucking weird, and yeah. The surgeon enters the waiting room and assures Dexter that Harrison is fine, and Sam's like, thank God, and Dexter says, thank God, and Sam realizes it, like, oh, you have a little bit of faith in you, it's just an expression, blah, 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 yeah. Matthews calls an apprehensive Deborah into his office, and it's one of those things where I gotta talk to you. You did great, you know? Like, people love this. Love the lieutenant. Love how real she is. Direct, no bullshit, and it's funny because he, like, cusses, he uses profanity on her as, like, they're walking out of the office. I think it's kind of funny there. Mike asks who drives the Firebird that is incorrectly parked, and they find a moment to, like, laugh with him. He's like, you park like a dick, and yeah, it's funny. So, in Deborah's office, Angel, Quinn, and Mike discuss a lead on Geller, who is discovered to be a revelation expert for the University of Tallahassee, and they figure out that he is their prime suspect. Like, he has this whole website. He went missing. Yeah, the beginning of the end. He was fired for stealing an ancient sword, and it's like, yeah, he definitely could have done this. A terrified Aaron is bound and gagged while Travis protests together. Like, why are you doing this? Let me be in love. Let me have a fucking life, you know? The homicide team is called to the botanical gardens, and they have a whole different scene set up. What do we call them? The Doomsday Killers, I guess? The woman is hanging, the Angel of Death tableau. They hit a tripwire. The support harness gets released. She drops down. A collar punctures her jugular. She dies. Arms stretch out to her sides. There's like this whole contraption. It looks fucking creepy. Dexter says that because it's the third murderer, there is officially a serial killer, and this is officially a problem for Miami Metro PD. So yeah, very interesting, you know, using the Book of Revelation, like the show creators, by the way, for like coming up with these killers. Are kind of sick in the head, but it makes for really good television. I don't have much to say. I'm gonna go upstairs and watch The Walking Dead. Probably watch